good morning, YouTube, or afternoon or night, or whenever you're watching this. Maybe all three. You like it so much you watch it morning, noon, and night. Here we are with a little baby snowstorm. We haven't had much content for you because, well, we haven't had any snow. And a lot of the other projects we've been doing have just been little projects I've been running and doing myself, which haven't really been my own cameraman and haven't had my camera woman. But there's nothing big and exciting anyway. Little filler stuff. But here we are. Oh, look at that. Looks like we're having a big snowstorm. Trust me, it's just blowing out of the trees. We only got, it's hard to say, some spot, well, up through here, there was some spots on the road that didn't look like there was anything because it had all wind drifted off from the lake. But out here in the woods, I'd say there's 2.5 inches. It's a real tough one to call whether we come scrape everything down or not. A lot of times, if it was a smaller storm like this, we'd want to leave it. Especially if it was going to be warmer within the next day or so, but we have cold temperatures for a while, so I figured it was a good idea to scrape it off, because a lot of times if you leave it and it packs, well, they either pay you to scrape it off and plow it off, or it winds up packing and then it's ice and they got to pay you to come sand it. So 6 of one, half dozen the other. And then speaking of wind drifts, or snow drifts I should say, there's a spot right there that's, I mean, not very big right here at the moment, but a good example. Probably can't tell on camera, but it's, you know, a foot deep right there. So if it continues to do that and we didn't get this out of here, could be a potential problem for someone coming out here. These are camps, and the camps, a couple of them out here are rentals, so you never know who's going to be out here, or what they're going to be driving. So you kind of got to keep it as open as possible. I mean, they are aware that this is New England and they're renting a camp on the lake in the winter, but still like to keep it as accessible as possible for them. That's all ice. And then there's a snowbank there. That is glare ice. That adds an element of fun right there. Must be everything melted off over here. This is Samantha's favorite part. My big turnaround right here. We're in the crew cab short bed Chevy, the 1-ton dump, and the regular cab long bed truck seem to turn around here a little better. I think the 1-ton just has a tighter turning radius, and the regular cab long bed is just, what did I decide it was? 10 or so inches, maybe a foot shorter than this truck.
I like it better when you back down to the other driveway and turn around.
I'm gonna. I just don't want this to be unplowed entirely.
It's hard to turn around in here.
So the other truck's a little shorter, but the plow sticks out a little further. This is a Boss, and that's a Fisher V plow. But being that it sticks out a little further, the one advantage it has is a V plow. I can tuck both corners in. Not, you know, if I have this plow angled one way to accommodate turning around, well, then it's going to be sticking out farther on the other side, obviously. So the that truck kind of gets in and out of this stuff a little better. But this one was ready to go, and we like to keep them all moving, so we hopped in this one. Next year they'll all be occupied. Probably, what, 3 to 4 trucks next year, I would say.
Next year or this spring?
Yeah, what?
Or are you talking about plowing?
I'm talking about plowing, yeah.
Oh.
Right now we manage with, I'm the sole plow guy, but we have extra trucks. We almost could break up and do another route, but as I've said in other videos, we have a pretty easygoing customer base, so it's not like I have a time constraint. So I can get everything done myself, no problem. This is where turning this truck around becomes very tricky.
I meant the other driveway.
And then backing all the way down here.
I don't know. I think you did that last time. Maybe not.
I've done this before. I take out a couple grade stakes, but they told me that was alright. They said I can't hit the house, but I can hit the grade stakes, so I aim for the grade stakes.
That probably makes sense.
They didn't actually do it.
I know.
Well, they did say that the grade stakes were. They put them out themselves and didn't know where they should be, and they had the right idea right here because there's a tricky little ditch right there. But then I can't hang the plow out over into the ditch without hitting the stakes. I think I've only taken out 2. What? So I have to back drag the whole thing? This is what I call, well, this, and actually I'll show you another one. I always call them Florida driveways because they're not set up for snow plowing.
They're not made to be in New England.
This one, you can't push snow in and leave it there because the garage is there. And then the other style I call a Florida driveway is a driveway that like runs right downhill towards the garage. It doesn't really work out well for ice or melting snow or being able to do anything with the snow. So those are Florida driveways. So if you ever hear me sputtering, calling something a Florida driveway.
So you have to back drag. And what happens when it's a really big storm?
You hope for the best.
Words of advice. What is happening?
Oh, plow truck things. Wiggling plugs.
Plow's about as ready for spring as I am.
I don't think if you've never had to jiggle a plow connection, you've probably never plowed.
As we drive to the next account, I want to know,
Oh boy.
do you think winter's almost done? Or do you still think there's a bunch of snow coming? If you're in New Hampshire, or if you're not in New
I
Hampshire.
thought you were asking me.
No, no. Joe knows what I guess I'm just hoping, not what I think the winter's gonna do. I'm hoping we're done. We've seen like such little snow this year. I'm over it.
I could go either way. We
I'm
haven't
done.
been able to plow a lot, so it hasn't been a very like profitable plowing season.
Unless you have yearly contracts.
Right.
You're making out like a bandit. Which our yearly contracts
Starts next
that
year.
we were awarded, they don't start till well, this year, but they start in spring. So next year we're probably going to be hammered. So you're welcome.
But yeah, I could go either way. I could plow a couple more times, throw a little money in the bank before it's mud season, whatever. But we also do have some carpentry projects and some landscape projects coming up. So if it's done snowing, let it be done. But I want it to warm up and dry out.
We have a lot on the books for spring, and I'm just ready. I'm ready to do that.
But we're still in this gap.
We are.
So
I vote no more snow. And I know it's only February and it's way early to say that, but I'm still going with I don't want any more snow. I want it to be the least amount of snow we've ever got in history. And Joe, he could go for, let's have a couple good, we haven't even had like a good storm.
the biggest one we got was that 10 inches or a foot or whatever, 11 inches
One time.
of light stuff.
Yeah.
That was it.
So let us know in the comments, is winter over or is it just beginning?